That's right.
Okay, and just like that 11-week training block, running to my Maffetone heart rate is completed. 10-kilometre race down there at the Gold Coast yesterday, filming today on Monday, 24 hours after the race. Now, where to begin? Wow, if you'd just seen that bit of footage, things didn't go the way that I had hoped they would. We have good days and we have bad days when we're running, and one of those bad days was yesterday. Disappointed, yes. I had set some goals leading up to that 10-kilometre race in the last video here on the channel, guys. Upper right-hand corner if you missed that one. And I think if you set goals and you don't meet or hit those goals, there's always that element of disappointment. Yes, I'm disappointed. Shocked and surprised? No, not really. Mainly because I had those doubts leading into Sunday's race. Do I blame the MAF for what happened? Not at all. The MAF has been a real godsend to me. It has really invigorated my love for running again over the past almost 2 years now. It's really helped me coming back from injury. Yeah, I can't speak highly enough for the Maffetone method in respect to my running. But in having said that, how did that affect my race yesterday? I'm going to get to that in a little bit. But there were two things that really stood out. I'm not sure if it's because I'm getting older. I'm 55 in a couple of months. I don't know whether I'm overestimating my ability nowadays or whether I'm overestimating my current fitness levels. Did I underestimate the impact of the hills? Absolutely. The hills knocked the stuffing out of me completely. I started off pretty much right on plan. I did hope to run 4:05s early on. I was a little bit quick through the first K, hit that first sharp rise in the second kilometre. The pace dropped in that kilometre 2. Was able to get back on track in kilometre 3 and 4, but by kilometre 5 I knew I was in trouble. And the turn for home, it was really a battle of survival. It got messy. There were some more rolling hills through the 6 and 8 kilometre area. Yeah, let's just say it was pretty much a constant fade from that 5 kilometre turnaround to come back home. One thing that really hit home to me, and now 24 hours after the race, is the body feels really good. And even not long after the race, the body felt really good. And that really comes back to the MAF. Building that aerobic base has been key throughout this 11-week training block, but it's the cardio. Especially yesterday was the real problem. When I ran that 5 kilometre race as part of the training block 3 weeks ago, it was a flat course and I was able to get to a pace and maintain that pace throughout. But yesterday, I wouldn't say it was a really tough hilly course, but there were a couple of little pinches in it. Just those rolling hills that really tested my cardio. And I think that having run just the MAF completely over the last 11 weeks, I was found wanting in the cardio stakes, let's put it that way. Now, if I had to compare this 11-week training block to what I was doing last year, mid-year with the MAF, I was doing 120k weekly mileage. I'm about 50% of that at the moment. Last year when I went into those time trials where I went sub 19 for 5k, 38:30 for 10k and an 85 for a half marathon, I had done 2 speed blocks after running MAF leading into those time trials. This time around, no speed blocks at all, other than just those couple of MAF sessions where I did those intervals at my MAF heart rate. While the MAF has really built my aerobic base, it has really, I've been found out at that little bit higher anaerobic level. And yesterday, rolling over those hills, just wasn't able to cope with the extra pressure that it put onto my cardio and being able to maintain the pace that I'd really set myself. Now, before I go too much further, guys, shout out to my friend Matt who came down with me yesterday, did a bit of filming. Some of his footage is here on the video. Also want to give a shout out to everyone who commented on the last video, sending your good wishes. I really do appreciate every single comment, and it meant a hell of a lot to me, guys. So Thank you very much. I've read all the comments. Almost go time. Just doing a little warm up. Get the legs moving. Half marathon's about to start, 6:30. It's like about 15 minutes. Just doing a 10-minute jog warm up. Bit of stretching, a couple of strides, and then let's get into it. Here come the half marathoners. What I want to touch on briefly now is the 11-week training block that I've been through with the Maffetone method. If you've been watching the channel for some time, I did a 50-kilometre race in December, had some knee issues leading up to that, and I've been battling this knee issue. Well, I'm going to be battling it forever now because I have very little padding between my tibia and fibia, so I haven't got a lot of cushion from that bone on bone there, so I get a little bit of discomfort in the knee from time to time. So I made the decision to work on this project, the MAF or 80-20, which is better for my running in particular, and I've now done that 11-week training block with the MAF. Now, that 11-week training block has really given me a good aerobic base. I feel reasonably fit, but I just need to go to that next level now to get a little bit better in the cardio, start hitting those little bit higher speeds and just seeing if I can maybe improve that 5 kilometre time that I did 3 weeks ago at 19:36, and most definitely that 10 kilometre time that I did yesterday, which was 42:29, guys. I don't think I actually said that earlier in the video. So 42:29, missed that sub 40 A goal, missed that B goal of getting as close as I can to 40 minutes, and obviously missed the C goal as well, that 40:50, which was the time that I had put in that race calculator predictor for the 10 kilometres off that 5 kilometre race that I did 3 weeks ago. But I certainly have no problems with the MAF. It's helped me a hell of a lot on this journey. I'm certainly not going to disregard it. It's still going to be a part of my running. It will still be a part of the 80-20 that I've now begun here, this next 11-week training block leading to another 5 kilometre and 10 kilometre races towards the end of the block. What I will do in the next video, guys, I will sort of hone right in on what I'm going to do with the 80-20. Now, also I want to mention too, guys, yesterday down there at the Gold Coast, thanks everyone who shouted out on course. I was sort of in a bit of pain there and didn't sort of take a lot of notice of what was going on around me, but I did hear people yelling out, so thanks guys. I hope your runs went really well too. Particular shout out to Vince, who came up afterwards and had a bit of a chat. A really funny story here. Vince, who lives on the Gold Coast, he and I got chatting and we both realised that we were both from Canberra, and I just asked him whereabouts in Canberra he was from, and it turned out that we were from the same area in the city. And it also worked out that we went to the same high school at the same time. So here's a guy who's been watching on the channel, came up to me after the run yesterday, and yeah, 40 years ago we were at the same school. Vince was a couple of years above me. Just amazing. Yeah, it was really great to meet you, Vince. Thanks for making the effort to come up and say g'day. Also, a real big shout out to Michael Shelley. For anyone who doesn't know, Michael Shelley is a bit of a legend of Australian running. He's a 2-time Commonwealth Games marathon champion, and Michael came up to us after the 10 kilometre yesterday. He ran the 10 kilometres with some friends and had a bit of a chat, and he was very obliging with his time. So that's about it, guys, from that 10 kilometre race, and closing the chapter 2 on the Maffetone 11-week training block. It's been fun actually experimenting a little bit with the Maffetone running, doing those interval sessions and doing the hill sessions, just mixing it up a little bit, keeping it interesting, not being too over frustrated with the Maffetone method and having to check your pace, check your heart rate. All right, that's it, guys. Thanks very much for everyone who's followed along so far with this journey of the MAF or 80-20, which is better. It's been really great reading everyone's comments on the channel. I really do appreciate everyone's support so far in this journey, and let's make the 80-20 journey even better. And I really am quite excited to move into this next phase now and just do some different types of running and just see where it leads to for those 5 and 10 kilometre races. 7 weeks, I think, until that 5 kilometres at Brisbane Marathon, and then 11 weeks until that 10 kilometres at the Gold Coast. If you got all the way through to the end of this video, thanks very much for watching. So I'm going to throw it back to now here or here. It'll be here somewhere on screen, guys. The very first video in this series where I decided to do this project, the MAF or 80-20. So I hope your running is going really well. Until next time, guys, stay safe, happy running, and I'll catch you in the next video. Hooroo.